The Rambam in the 8th parak of Beis HaBchira, the Rambam articulates the following psak. Shmiras HaMikdash, says the Rambam, the obligation to guard the Mikdash, mitzvah saseh, is a positive commandment. Even though there's no fear of enemies or armed robbers, ein shmirasa ela kavod though. The idea of guarding the Mikdash is an honor to the Beis HaMikdash. Ein adom lepalturim sheyesh alav shomrim lepalturim she'en alav shomrim. You cannot compare a palace that has guards encircling it to a palturim, to a palace without guards. Ushmir azu mitzvasa kol halayla. This din applies the entire night. Va'akohanim va'alviyim. Who are the shomrim, says the Rambam? The Kohanim and the Leviyim. Shenema v'yato v'manecha yitcha l'fnei ol moed. Klomar, attend to you shomrim lo, you shall guard the Makam HaMikdash. The Rambam quotes a series of psukim, and the Rambam indicates here that the idea of Shemira is a cover for the Beis HaMikdash. In the Sefer HaMitzvahs as well, Rambam there also echoes this idea. The idea is to honor the Mikdash, to enhance its beautiful majesty and glory. The Chinuch in Shin Peches writes the following: Mishorashe HaMitzvah. The shorashim of this mitzvah, Mashekvar Kasati Kamapomim, Ki Bichlod Habayis Siba Lasis Maro Elei B'nei Adam. When you have a majestic, very glorified, beautiful Beis HaMikdash, that itself will engender a certain kind of fear. Ubevoeino sham levakesh tchina u'slicha neis adon hakol. And then when we come there to ask Hashem Yisbarach for forgiveness, to ask Him for different prayers of supplication, yisrakchu halabavos el hatshuva b'mheira. Our hearts will be drawn to do tshuva. The Ramban in Hakdama, the Parsha Bamidbar, Ramban notes the parallels, as he noted at the beginning of Parsha Truma and elsewhere, between the covet that Hashem Yisbarach reigned over Har Sinai, where the Torah tells us, V'azor HaKorev Yumas, Ki Sokol Yisakel, or Yaro Yireh, Be'imah Mishlo Yichye. The Har was demarcated. So too says the Ramban, in a similar fashion, the Mishkan, which of course in the Ramban's eyes equals Har Sinai, that's the formula. The Mishkan is an extension, a hemshech of Har Sinai. Here also you have a demarcation, and at the end of the Parsha, the Torah tells us, V'lo liros kivala es hakodesh v'mesu, that parallels the pasuk in Yisrael, pen yersu al Hashem liros v'nafal v'menu rav chas v'shalom. So we have parallels between the Mishkan and the Har Sinai. Just as the Mishkan is a paltun shel melech im shomrim, so too Har Sinai was a kind of paltun shel melech, also with lines of demarcation. So the mitzvah here that's being described is a mitzvah both of cover for the Beis HaMikdash as well as Morah for the Beis HaMikdash. And this din of Morah for the Beis HaMikdash, the Rambam tells us in the Sefer HaMitzvahs, it was noeg even b'churbanah. Even when the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed, this mitzvah is still operative. The Gemara learns out in Yevamos from the Hekesh between Morah Mikdash and Shmir Shabbos. It says twice in Chumash, Eshapsol Sai Tishmaru u'Mikdashi Tiro Ani Hashem. The Torah has equated, has made a Hekesh between Morah Mikdash and Shmir Shabbos. And here, there's no distinction. The Rambam indicates in Perek Zayin Beis HaBchira, the Beis HaMikdash bein b'churbano, bein b'minyano, this mitzvah is applicable. You have also this Mishnah, this mitzvah of Shmiras HaMikdash is described in two sets of Mishnayos, in Maseches Tamid and Maseches Midos. Two sets of Mishnayos are devoted to this mitzvah of Shmiras HaMikdash. Of course, one can ask, why the necessity for the duplication? And of course, the answer is, there is no duplication, Svei Dinim. Everything is dialectic. And in fact, you have in these two sets of Mishnayos from Maseches Midos describe the mitzvah Shmiras HaMikdash as a t'nai for the Chefetz of the Beis HaMikdash. While the Mishnayos in Maseches Tamid, there we're speaking about the Chefetz HaGavra. We're speaking about the obligation of Kohanim and Leviim to guard the Mikdash. So there are two vantage points. One is from the vantage point of the Mishkan of the Beis HaMikdash, and one is from the vantage point of the personalities that are obligated to guard the Beis HaMikdash. It is well known, the Shitas HaRambam, that the Rambam comments both in Pirush HaMishnayos and in Mishnah Torah that the city of Yerushalayim constitutes an integral part of the Beis HaMikdash. The Kedusha of Yerushalayim, of course, emanates from the presence of the Shekhinah. The Kedusha of the Mikdash emanates from the Shekhinah. And the Mishnah writes in Maseches Megillah, "Vashimotzi et Mikdasheichem, mapli sheshamamim, b'kedushasen ein yomdim." Even though they're desolate, the Kedusha is still there. In other words, the city of Yerushalayim has a beautiful skula to it because it is an extension, a kind of Yada Arichta of the Makom HaMikdash, an extension of the Beis HaMikdash. In Shmuel Beis, there, the Navi mentions that David HaMelech was 30 years old when he became king, and 40 years he was a king. In Hebron, 7 years and 6 months, and Yerushalayim, 33 years. And there it mentions that the king and his men went to Yerushalayim, to the Yebusi. The Radak over there comments, Vayelech HaMelech Ma'anosha, which is also found in Divrei Hayamim, that in effect they had a Kabbalah that Zion, Yerushalayim area, is Rosh Mamlechas Yisrael. Who will capture Zion? The Radak says only someone who has a Din Melech, only someone who's considered to be a king. I'll call Yisrael. And the Radak says over there, Varayom lo niskayma malchus b'Yisrael. Shaul lo kama b'malchusam. Shaul, of course, was only a king, l'shah, and not the Doros. The Ramban describes this and discusses this at the end of Marichi on the pasuk of Yosef Shevim Yehuda u'Mecholki ben Raglov. Ad Piavo Shilo v'lo Yitzhak Ami. So, in the first 7 years of the reign of David HaMelech over Shevet Yehuda alone, because he was not Melech al Kol Yisrael, he was not able to have Shlita over Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim is an extension of the Beis HaMikdash, and that Shlita over Yerushalayim can only come about when one is a Melech over all Yisrael. So we have a very fundamental idea here that begins with the din of Shmiras HaMikdash, found in Bamidbar, extending to the Mishkan, of course. Mishkan equals Mikdash, Kayadua, and this is also a well-known halacha that's found in Hilchos Tefillah. The Gemara says in Brachos that if someone is in Chutz Aretz, Yechab Neslibo, Keneged Eretz Yisrael. Hayom Eretz Yisrael, Yechab Neslibo, Keneged Yerushalayim. Nimtzu Kol Yisrael Mechadim Es Libo B'Makam Echad. All Kol Yisrael directed to the Tel Tapios, Yerushalayim, the Makam HaMikdash. That's the epicenter of the entire universe. I once heard from Harav Neria Zatzal, Shiur far away, many years ago. I think he has the same idea in one of his svarim, Moadei Raya. There he told me, in the Milchemet HaShiur in Tafshin Chet, when the state of Israel was founded, a historical vignette that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, at that point in time, did not permit us to capture the city of Yerushalayim. Baruch Hashem, we were able to establish the state. Yerushalayim at that point was not Meuchedet. It was not united under our rule. While the Mechem Sheshet Hayamim in Tafshin Chav Zayin, there, through some nest, through a lot of nisim, Yibon Shalom gave us the city of Yerushalayim. Yes, in Tafshin Chet, the Palmach, they were able to break through the Shar Tzion. Chayalei Tzal, we're going to go through Shar Shechem. And had we been Matzliach then, perhaps we could have held on to Yerushalayim. And everyone would have said, as the Mishnah writes in Bava Metzia, in the first parak, Zeh Omer Kula Shali, Zeh Omer Kula Shali. And then Yerushalayim would have Chas v'Sholom been a source of Pirud of divisiveness and machlokes, and we know the Gemara says that Yerushalayim led Yitzchak l'Shvatim. Eretz Yisrael is divided into Shvatim, not the city of Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim was given to Am Yisrael, Kulo. All of us have a chelik in Yerushalayim. Shalu Shlom Yerushalayim Mishloyu Avoyech. Yerushalayim comes to one function, to Yimar B'Shalom Ba'Olam, and to accentuate the achdus that should exist between us. And that's why when all Klal Yisrael enter Derech Shar Echad Shar Arayos, we are all united. Only then we result to the great miracle of Hamasah Shechinasa L'Tzion. This coming Sunday is Yom Yerushalayim, and Yom Yerushalayim is also in the shade of Kabbalah Satira, of Chag HaShavuos, Man Matan Toraseinu. Halavai we should be zocheh to absorb these lessons of Yerushalayim and Maimin HaSinai, which have in it a common feature. Vayichan Shom Yisrael b'lei v'echad, ki ish echad b'lei v'echad, Klal Yisrael being united, Klal Yisrael being together. Yerushalayim is Ir Shechubra Lo Yachta, the city that unites all of Am Yisrael. Kol Yisrael, the Gemara says, the Chagiga Nasu B'Chaverim. We all become Chaverim through the instrumentality of the city of Yerushalayim. And if we are able to maintain that Achdus and somehow increase it and somehow cultivate it to the fullest extent, we'll be able to be Zocheh to Yerushalayim, B'Kedushasa, B'Tifarta, B'Mloya. The Navi Yischayer writes, V'ani Eyelo Num Hashem Chaimas Eis Sobiv. And then the Rebbeinu Shalom B'Chlodo V'Atzmo will be the one who will guard Mikdash Melech Ir Melucha Kumi Tzei Mitoicha Afecha Rav Loch Sheves Beimak Abocha U Yachamo V'Alai Chemba. Alavai, the words of the Paiton and the Chadei Dishim B'Kuyam B'Kar Mamish Amen Ken Yirot.